And thank you so much, Commissioner. Also, it was this great conversation yesterday. Just quick, I want to get into something that's very, very important is the NESE pipeline and the Constitution pipeline. What are your thoughts on, because in the past, obviously, the DEC was against the pipeline. Now, do you realize that we have hundreds of LNG natural gas trucks all over our roadways? Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, one exploded on our great thruway. And thank God for our firefighters and everybody that was there. Are you aware that each one of these trucks, which I would never heard anybody come out and say this, even my friends that are environmentalists, 7 pounds of CO2 a mile, our safety on our roadways, need to be energy to liquefy to get then to pump into the system. Are you aware of this?
I understand that in order to meet the needs, there have been LNG that has been trucked
And my
in.
question is, all these years, are you aware that, in other words, we have these trucks all over the roadways, and are you in favor of the NESE pipeline and the Constitution pipeline for a lot of reasons, for our environment, for safety reasons, for our lives, that how important this is?
Well, Senator,
No,
maybe a couple things. One is the NESE pipeline, as any other project would, was looked at by DEC for applicable laws and regulations. And our oversight over interstate pipelines comes from
again, my
Water Act
question
and
is,
Section
are you in
401.
favor of both these pipelines? This is very, very important for life. This is a necessity. Are you in favor of the DEC? Are you going to be holding back to hurt these projects? Because you said a lot today about the federal government not doing the right thing. So I'm asking the question, are you in favor of this?
Well, Senator, I think you are aware that DEC did issue a 401 certificate for the NESE pipeline. And that
what about the
has already
Constitution?
occurred. Unfortunately, in the Constitution pipeline, Williams Company has sought to actually circumvent New York State's review, which I think is frankly an assault on states' rights as well as our environment. When we take a look at these projects, we do so to ensure that they meet our water quality standards, that they're protective of our environment, of our communities, and unfortunately, they have sought to actually circumvent that. So today,
okay, my question again, thank you very much. My question again, and I thank you, Commissioner, but my question again is, you are not going to, your office is not going to try to hold back with this, so this very, 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 very important project moving forward.
We're going to look at every project individually on the merits, but
And when do you think it would start? When do you think it would start, by the way? Do you think you in favor of this starting like right away? Because this is so important. Do you realize this with the NESE pipeline, 60% of these LNG pipe trucks, tanker trucks, will be off the roadway. 60% will be off the roadway just with the NESE pipeline.
Well, as already noted, Senator, that project has gone through a review in which we made sure that that was protective.
So you're going to make sure that's expedited fast?
We've done our job on NESE
Okay.
pipeline.
I just want to make sure that then, in other words, it's going to get fast, because it's very, very important. Battery storage, and I want to say thank you to my Assemblyman Simpson. You know, we talked about this yesterday, about the polluting, and no one's talking about lithium-ion batteries that go on fire. We just had one in Orange County. It's constantly happening. And we talked about this, that it's contained. How is it contained when it goes up in the atmosphere? And what is the DEC? We could talk about ORES. We could talk about, in other words, that they have oversight, but the DEC has nothing to do. We talked about this yesterday, but it's still bothering me. You have no oversight at all on any of these battery storage facilities.
We don't have any statutory oversight over the siting of these.
Do you think you should?
You know, I think it's important that any agency that has expertise is able to weigh into the process, and we're going to continue to do that.
Well, I have a bill in to make sure that, in other
agencies.
words, that you do have oversight, because we can't just have one, because this is ridiculous what's happening. And you know what? My residents of Long Island, we're a very dense area, are frightened. Our fire departments, our residents. I told you yesterday, this BESS project that wants to go right now, the expressway is right there. If this went on fire, it would close down the whole Long Island Expressway. That's how terrible government is not looking at this. All they want to do is make sure they put battery storage. You know what? Plum Island. That's what everybody should be looking at. Look at Plum Island as its own source. Really, that's what I would be looking at, Commissioner, to make sure you do something with that, with the federal government. Since you don't like them so much, you should make sure, guess what, work with them and get Plum Island to be its own energy source for Long Island, and we wouldn't have this We would
Thank you
not
for your
have any of
comments.
this.
As